Now, who wants to see the numbers? Let's look at the numbers. So I will charge, so I'm going to show you two of my short-term rentals. I'm going to give you the numbers. Hi there, I am Tresa, Todd, and I am so excited to be talking to you about short-term rentals. So I am, and I'm absolutely honored to LabCoats for inviting me. I am the founder of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network. And so forgive me because I am usually presenting to all women. And so all of my slides are pink. So please just forgive me. And I know that this is a co-ed group. So guys, I just want you to know that I have a husband, I have 3 sons, and so I love men, but I do teach women. I had been in the medical field for 25 years, and my 3 sons became real estate investors. They were flipping houses and acquiring rentals and short-term rentals and all of that. And they finally talked me into leaving my 25-year career and learning how to invest in real estate. And they just taught me, and I got into this. And I also have a background in teaching faith-based retreats and seminars and all of that. So I've always been all about empowering women. And whenever I got into real estate investing, I realized that it was 97% of real estate investors were men. And this had literally changed my life. And I wanted women to know that they could become real estate investors as well. So I started the Women's Real Estate Investors Network locally here in Dallas, Texas. Very first night, I had 40 women show up. I didn't even know if women wanted to be investors. However, they were, and it just began to grow. And then we went to Dallas, and then COVID hit. And so I had live meetings all over Dallas and Houston. And then when COVID shut everything down, I started teaching online. And I am telling you, we blew up. And so now we are nationwide. I have taught over 100,000 women about investing in real estate. And yeah, it's just absolutely been so much fun. And probably about 30 to 40% of my students are realtors. So I love that. They are, they already know one side of the industry. And so once they learn this other side, it is life transforming, because now they're making money as a licensed realtor as well as investing. So let me see. If y'all want to give me any comments over here, I just love to read your comments. So let me see. And then we're just going to jump in. But what I do want to say, whenever I am teaching, I literally teach how to buy these properties off market, because I know that we're in a crazy market right now and everything is going over asking. So, but even prior to COVID and prior to this crazy market that we're in, we buy ourselves, and I teach my students to buy off market properties. So we are looking for properties that usually the owners are what we would call distressed, motivated. So many of them are about to go into foreclosure. They have something wrong with their property that would keep them from selling it on the MLS. So we're not in competition with realtors. I always say that 80% of people, when they get ready to sell their house, call up a realtor. They want to sell it for the most amount of money, as well they should. And that 80% is for all of the realtors. But there's another 20% of people out there, and maybe there's not enough time to sell it because of they're going into foreclosure. Or we buy hoarders houses because they don't want people coming into their house. There is a whole people inherit homes that they cannot afford, but they haven't been updated in years. They need not only updates, but sometimes they need a lot of repairs. They don't have the money. Most people can only afford to barely afford their own mortgage, little on another property that could be a city or state over somewhere else. And so there's a whole host of people that are in a distressed situation that need to sell their house for cash and quick. And so that's who we are helping, and we are creating win-wins for them to get them out of a bad situation. We can put some cash in their pocket, and we can acquire property at a really great price so that we can still either flip it or fix it up and keep it as a rental or a short-term rental. And so we teach all of that, as well as how to fund these deals using other people's money. So I do not use any of my own money. We have private money. There's also hard money lending, but basically we use private money lending. And so anyway, that's not what today's talk is about. Today, I'm really going to go into short-term rentals, but I always just I want you to know, because a lot of people are watching and they will think, well, that's all great, but who could do this right now in this market? And I'm telling you, we're acquiring new short-term rentals. Our students are acquiring new rentals, short-term rentals, flipping houses right now in this market. So just wanted to share that. And here in just a minute, I am going to just share my slides. Let's just do that, and let's just jump in. Now you should be able to see my slides. Okay, so we are going, give me just a minute here. Okay, so first of all, let's just talk about what is a short-term rental. So you may know better by hearing Airbnb, VRBO, and I am telling you, these are super popular right now, super popular. People are choosing to stay at a short-term rental over hotels. And I call short-term rentals now and later money, because you are making money every single month. That's cash flow that you're collecting every single month. However, that later money is, as that property appreciates, the mortgage is paid down. This is building generational wealth, long-term wealth. This is building up retirement. This is leaving legacy for your family. So I love to call it now and later money. For some reason, my slides are not wanting. Okay, here we go. Let me go back one. Okay, so Airbnb and VRBO are the most popular, and that's probably what you know the best. But there's also FlipKey, there's Booking.com, HomeAway, Second Address, and there's new ones coming up every day, because it is a really popular, fast growing, everybody is loving short-term rentals. And if you've never stayed in a short-term rental, you always go after the hotel. I cannot encourage you enough to try it. I travel a lot, and I always prefer staying at a short-term rental. And so if you haven't done it, you've got to give it a try. So what I really want to show you now, okay, so when you are thinking about acquiring a piece of property for staying in a short-term rental, you know what, even before I talk about that, I would love to tell you a few things that you need to know about what is it? You could turn anything into a short-term rental, anything. So you will see houses, obviously, those make fantastic. You can even rent out a room in your house. So if you're an empty nester and you're okay with people coming and staying in your house, if you have an extra bedroom with a private bath, you could earn some money on having people come and just stay in an extra room. Or an entire house. Obviously, that's what I love. And you can get boutique short-term rentals, a regular, or even luxury. So when we travel, I have a really large family. Like I said, I have 3 grown sons. I have 7 grandkiddos. And so we always, as a matter of fact, we just came back from Breckenridge, Colorado, and we stayed in this amazing luxury short-term rental in the mountains. And you have the entire house where you were able to cook and, hang out, play games together, and all of that. However, you will see right now also what's popular. People are turning anything and everything, RVs. I mean, you can just glam up an RV. There is actually something called glamping, and you can use RVs or tents. Have you seen glamping tents? And they're just glamorous tents that actually have heating and air. My husband and I stayed in one not too long ago in Fredericksburg, Texas. And then I have seen train carts turned into short-term rentals. The container houses, they're turning into short-term rentals. So really, your imagination is the limit. Anything that you can think of. Now, obviously, you need electricity and water and all of these. You've seen tree houses. So anything that you can think of. What an Airbnb is it offers an experience different than a hotel. A hotel is just that. I mean, it's a place to stay while you're there doing whatever you're doing. But a short-term rental can really be an experience. So just keep that in mind. So now, but when you have found a piece of property and that you're thinking, hey, would this make a great short-term rental? That's what I want to jump into first, because the last thing I want you to do is go out and buy a piece of property thinking it's going to be a short-term rental, and for some reason it won't work. So the first thing is that you need to know that some cities, some counties, some HOAs have banned short-term rentals. So that's the first thing that you want to do is, so I buy a lot of property. And when I get a piece of property under contract, I don't always know what I'm going to do with it. But usually the very first thing that I'm thinking of is, oh, would this make a good short-term rental? Because it is one of those things that I can make that now and later money. So that's the first thing. Well, if it's been banned, obviously, okay, it can't do that. Now, would it make for just a regular traditional rental? Or should I flip this property? Would I make more money on that? Or is it going to really appreciate and I should hang on to that property? Whatever. The second thing that you need to know is it in the right location to be a successful short-term rental? It needs to be somewhere where people are coming on a regular basis. So of course, I'm here in Dallas, and people are coming to Dallas. And so there's really not a bad spot in all of the Metroplex to have a short-term rental, because it is so popular. People are coming for the Cowboys and the Mavericks and the Rangers and Six Flags and the water parks. And there's, all the things here. But if you live near, and the great thing about a short-term rental is you don't have to have them in your area. You can have them all over the nation. As a matter of fact, I have one in Colorado, one on the beach, because they make great vacation homes. So you rent them out, you're making money every single month. But I can also, when I'm ready to go, or take my family, or let my people on my team, or just somebody go stay and take a vacation. So again, remember that. So any place that is going to bring in people, so resorts of any kind are fantastic places to have short-term rentals. Wineries, even heavy business, medical, if any place. So just think about it. And then what you can do, even in any city, unless it's a very, very small rural city that people are not coming. But I had one in Tyler, Texas, and you wouldn't think that would be a big draw, but it did really, really well. But mostly it did well because there was not a lot of other Airbnbs there. So anyway, always take that into account. Is it in a great location? Obviously, if they're near a lake or an ocean, any place like that, fantastic place for short-term rentals. Now, the next thing is you want to make sure that it meets the 1% rule. So what that is 1% of the ARV. That's the after repair value. So usually when we are purchasing properties, it needs a little bit of work. We're not buying houses, on the market that are in great shape that could have sold at full price. We're buying usually ugly houses that need remodeling, upgrades, repairs. So the ARV is the after repair value. What is the value of this property going to be worth after it's, been updated and all of that? And so we want to chase the 1% rule. So if I would be able to make with a short-term rental, so say it's $300,000, but I feel like I could make $3,000 a month on this short-term rental, which is so easy. And I'm going to show you numbers here in just a minute of how much money you can make with the short-term rental. Then that would be a really good investment. I mean, I have students that do have a couple of luxury short-term rentals that are making $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a month on their short-term rental. So just keep that in mind. And so traditionally you might only make say here in Texas, I know you can't do this all over. I don't know where you are, but here in Texas, you could literally get a house for $150,000. And then if you were just going to have it traditionally rented out, you would want to rent it out traditionally for $1,500. Even though with a short-term rental, you could rent it out for you might make $2,000, $3,000 or more on that $150,000 property. Is that exciting? That is the beauty of a short-term rental. Okay. So now I want to go over the cost associated. So I want you to go into this knowing exactly what it would cost you to have a short-term rental. Well, obviously you've got to purchase the property itself. And of course we have a formula that we use for purchasing properties. And again, I don't have time to teach that, but you always want to get it at the right price. And then obviously it's going to cost you whatever you would need for updates. Now we are using private money and hard money loans for these because we can get those loans. Doesn't matter what about your credit. It's just using other people's money, and it is a beautiful thing. And I wish that I had time. Maybe they'll have me back sometime and I can talk about that, because you would love to know the formula and how you can use private money and hard money loans. And everybody qualifies because those loans are based on the asset itself and not your ability to pay it back or your credit and all of that kind of thing. And then once we do purchase the property and do all the repairs and remodel, then we can refinance that, and it's absolutely amazing. Okay, so now let's just say that's what you need to know. It's going to cost you the price of purchasing the property and the remodel. Then to furnish your property, because when you have a short-term rental, you have to completely do all the things to this. I mean, it has to have all the furnishings, the living room furniture, the bedroom furniture, lamps and blankets, and all the large appliances and small appliances and the pots and pans and every single thing. And so depending on the size, as well as if you choose to have a regular, what I call a regular short-term rental, a boutique, or a luxury, and we're going to talk about all of those in just a minute, is going to depend what it costs you. All of mine are boutique short-term rentals. I love being in the middle, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But so I usually spend somewhere between $9,000 and $11,000 completely getting it ready. Now that's not including any kind of remodel or anything, but I'm talking about I go shopping for all the furniture and all the things that I need for a boutique, and well, I'll tell you more about that later. However, I have students that just have traditional short-term rentals, and they have furnished them for as little as $4,000 and $5,000, especially if you just have a one-bedroom. And so the bigger that it is, obviously you have to have more furniture. The fancier it is, the higher end furniture that you're going to need. But anyway, so between 5 and 10 is very, very typical. And just know that you're going to need, listed here, the dining room, the bedroom, all the bedding and the linens. You want outside furniture. You just want all the things. Now that was just to get into a short-term rental, right? In that, now you've got it all set up. You went out, you've shopped, it's ready to go. Now, what is it going to cost you monthly to have a short-term rental? And I'm going to share some pictures of a couple of my short-term rentals here in just a minute to kind of give you an idea of what we do. So I highly recommend using a property management company, because if you decide that you want to do this yourself, you have just bought yourself a job and you don't have time for that. I am saying, hey, first of all, you've already got a job as a realtor, so go make money at that, and then make money as investing, and don't let somebody else take care of your property, and then you just acquire more of them, so that this is just making money while you sleep, okay, or while you're on vacation, or while you're making money as an investor or a realtor, not having to take care of that yourself. I use Evolve. It's who I've used since the day I started. I've had an amazing experience with them. I pay them 10% right off the top of everything that comes in, but it is well worth it. And I have a slide here in a little bit that will show exactly what they do, every single thing that they do. So, it's well worth it. Okay, so 10% from my property management company. Obviously, if I have a monthly mortgage on that property, I'm going to be paying that monthly mortgage, as well as I need insurance in case something happens to that property. And whenever you are getting insured for a short-term rental, you want to make sure that your insurance company knows that's what you're using it for, because there's a different kind of insurance. It's not expensive at all, but they just need to know that. You're also going to have to pay all of the utilities and electric, water, gas, and your trash. You also want to make sure that you provide cable and Wi-Fi. And what I have learned, even if you think, oh, I've got this place up in the mountains and I'm going to create it so that people can come and get away from the Wi-Fi and the cable, there's about 5% of the people in the world that want to take a vacation away from their electronics. So we have learned that it does not do well. You can advertise it that way, but make sure that every person knows that there will be cable and Wi-Fi, because that is so important in this day and age. Obviously, you're going to have to take care of the yard. So there's going to be a monthly yard maintenance. If you have a pool, there's pool maintenance. And then every time your guests leave, you have to have a housekeeper that comes in and just cleans that place up. So you want a fantastic housekeeper that will go in and keep your house just spotless. And then you're going to be updating linens, because they're going to get worn out, they're going to get stained, somebody's going to take off with a few of your towels here and there. So just know that there's the cost of updating things. Obviously restocking all of your paper goods on the regular, and making sure that you have dishwashing detergent and laundry detergent, shampoo, conditioner, soaps and body washes. Now you can go more elaborate and you can do the cotton balls and the Q-tips and all of that, or you don't have to. I will tell you, I started out doing all of those extras. I was a super host, is what they will call it. But after acquiring more and more, I thought, oh my gosh, it's too much trouble to be a super host. So we have ours right in the middle. We don't over deliver and we don't under deliver at all. And it just depends on really your personality. I know that there are some personalities who absolutely, hospitality is your gift and you just absolutely love doing that. And if that's the case, then go for it. And like I said, I started out doing that, but as I acquired more and more, and it just got a little more difficult. So I just kind of went with the basics and have had fantastic success with that. I have a note here that says short-term rentals are not simple. Owning any type of real estate is never simple. I don't know. We have it down. I think, I always have people telling me that even about rentals. Oh my God, I was a landlord for, and I hated it. 90% of the people that tell me that, this is what I learned. They didn't buy it at the right price. They didn't know the formula. They paid way too much for it. So they didn't have enough cash flow that it was worth it. And they didn't have a property manager and they tried to do it all themselves. Because once you actually have property managers, you have housekeepers in place and you buy it at the right place. I I hardly ever even think about my short-term rentals or I have regular rentals. I'm just making money on those. And I have other people that take care of it. I have a handyman so that when something gets broke or, something needs repaired, they handle it. So I absolutely love it. So I want to show you a little bit about the kind of money that you can make with a short-term rental. Okay. So again, I've talked about a traditional. When I say traditional, it's just nothing special. Now, that doesn't mean that's dumpy at all. You've got to take care of them. They've got to be clean. Reviews are everything. That is what is going to keep your short-term rental booked up. And you want to make the most amount of money every single night, as well as you want to keep it booked up the most amount of nights. Okay, I'm seeing some hands raised. So let's just see let me see if I can read. Does Evolve handle all the things in the list? I'm actually going to show you in just a minute all of the things that they do, and it's going to blow your mind. Like I said, that's why I believe that it is so worth it. Okay, so traditional is nothing special. It is not, it's not fancy, but it's still, you want really great pictures, because that is what somebody is looking at when they decide to come and stay at your short-term rental. So traditional, just nothing special. You could also, I already mentioned, you could just rent out a room. And so if you were doing something traditional and you were just renting out a room, depending on the location and how nice and fancy it is, you can make at least $50 to $100 a night. So, maybe you just rent it out a few times a month. You're just, again, if you're an empty nester and just looking to make a little bit of money. I know I have a friend that rents out. She has a really nice 4-bedroom home. She rents out 2 rooms because her gift is hospitality. She runs it herself. She just loves it. And when her guest comes in, she loves to cook for them. And she just does that. And she makes probably about $1,000 a month. But that pays, that's an extra $1,000 a month to her. Now, if you were going to rent out your entire house and it was just a traditional property, nothing fancy, you can make somewhere between $125 to $300. And some of I know that's a wide spread, but it's going to depend on the location, the size of the house, and those types of things. Now, the boutique is my specialty, and I'm going to go into that quite a bit today, but $200 to $500 per night on a boutique short-term rental, again, based on the size and the location and all of the things like that. And then a luxury short-term rental can go for anywhere from $500 a night to $5,000. I've even seen them up to $8,000, $10,000 a night, and Newport Beach and some of these places that are just, really fancy, very, very, very high end. And because I love to stay in luxury short-term rentals, I used to think, I couldn't wait to get my very first one. However, after staying in them, I do not think it's worth it personally, because when someone is paying $2,000, $3,000 a night for a short-term rental, their expectations is out of the roof. There cannot be a cobweb in a corner. They expect so much. And you literally have to have a full-time person that is just taking care of them and making sure that they have every little thing that you could possibly think of. And so it's not worth it to me. I have a life that I want to live, and I don't want to, you could just own maybe 2 or 3, and you would really need to be in the vicinity. And so that's not my desire. I'm not saying that you cannot make a lot of money with a luxury property. I'm just saying that's not my cup of tea. So just nobody can see the slides. Okay. Nobody can see the slides. Okay. I'm glad I looked at the Q&A. Let me see. I wonder why. Can you see them now? Okay, still cannot see the slides. I wonder what I have done. It says I am sharing my slides. Okay, I am going to let Dylan try to figure out why that you can't see my slides, and I am just going to keep talking. So now remember that your reviews are everything. So let me just kind of talk you through what happens if you have not stayed at a short-term rental. When you decide that you are going to stay at a short-term rental. So you've got some dates that you're going to go on a vacation. You've got a place that you're going to go on vacation. What do they do when they go into the they would either choose Airbnb or VRBO, let's just say, and they're going to go in and they're going to put the city that they're going to, and they're going to put the dates that they want to stay. And then they're probably going to show how many people are coming on this trip. Is it just 2? Are they looking for a romantic getaway? So they're looking for a 1-bedroom, or can see your mouse, just not slides.
Okay, go ahead and keep talking.
Okay,
I will.
So now, or are you taking a whole family like mine and there's 14 of us going and we need lots and lots of bedrooms and bathrooms and all of that. So they're going to put that information in there. And then everything that is available on that week that fits your criteria is going to populate. And you could even put in a price range that I only want to spend somewhere between $200 and $300 a night, or am I willing, or you don't have to fill that in, whatever. Then what's going to populate are pictures of the properties. And this is the way that most people choose what property they're going to stay at. They look at, let's just say there's 7. Usually there's more like 20 or 30, but let's just say there's 7 different properties available on the week that you're going to be in this place. And so you're going to go through them and you're going to look at them. And what are you going to do? Go Dylan, they said. Thank you.
It. Okay.
Woo.
You got the setup the way you would need it?
Yeah, I think so.
Right here?
Yep. That's
Okay.
good. And then let's see if
I'm going to put your chat over here. So
thank y'all for being patient. I'm so sorry. I'm so thankful for Dylan.
All right.
Okay.
You're all
Now I
good to
just
go.
want to make sure. Okay.
It's either that or the space bar.
I'm going to just use the space bar. Okay, there we go. Woo! Okay.
Let's go.
So now, so that then they're going to look at pictures and they're going to go, oh, this one looks like a really fun place to stay. So you want your pictures to be really, really, alluring for someone. After they look at the pictures and they're going to go through and they're going to go, oh yeah, this one looks like it's got, some really cute outdoor area that the kids could play. Oh, this one's got a pool. This one has a hot tub. I know that when I take my family, if it's in the wintertime and there's no hot tub, we don't even look at it. So whatever there is, they're also going to be looking to see if they can bring their pets or they can't bring their pets. I personally am looking for a place. I prefer a place that says no pets, because I've stayed in some that, even though I love pets, but then I can smell the last pet that was there and that drives me crazy. So I prefer to stay in one that says no pets allowed. Then once they have narrowed that down, they're going to read the reviews, and reviews are everything. They will ruin you or they can make you. And so that's how people usually determine where they are going to stay. Now, my first secret is to making the most amount of money every night, as well as keeping it booked up, is having a boutique property. I think it's just I've just seen firsthand that it is the best way to make money. So now, how do you make it a boutique? You're going to have to spend a little more money, time, energy, and effort in your design. But when I say a little more money, especially, I am a smart shopper. I was a single mom for a lot of years before I became a real estate investor. And so I can shop at consignment stores, home design, furniture mart. I can just shop and I can so I'm really smart, but I can make it really super cute. So anything that is fancy, or you can do a theme. Like I go to Nashville and stayed several times there now, and they will have their short-term rentals. Maybe there's a Dolly Parton house, or stayed in one, and every room was a Dolly and Reba McEntire room, Johnny Cash room. At Disneyland or Disney World, you will see entire houses that are maybe in the Marvel characters, or of course the Disney princesses. Or so up in my mountains, of course it's that whole mountain theme going on, that whole mountain vibe. So again, your creative ability, you could just put it at play. Now, I don't go for themes myself. I go more, I'm going to show you some pictures here in a little bit. I like something that's fun. I love fancy lighting and some really cute backsplash. And then I throw in colorful rugs and decor. And it's a very, very inviting, very homey, very fun place. And when you're looking at pictures of my competition, I do pretty well, especially I'm going to show you even what I paid for these properties, and it's going to blow your mind of how much money that you can make. Now, the next little secret is a mattress and pillows. Listen, people want to sleep on a great mattress, and I have found, I've even shared it in the slide, a Zenus memory foam 10-inch green tea mattress is like magic. I do a queen size in all of my bedrooms, and it's $290. And that's even what I sleep on in my house. It's that comfortable. And one thing that you will notice is that in my reviews, every third review is someone commenting on how comfortable the beds are and the pillows. So, and look how cheap. I mean, people pay thousands of dollars. Shouldn't say cheap. Look how reasonably priced it is. People pay thousands of dollars for, and I've paid $1,000 before I learned about this Amazon green tea mattress. But also, I always recommend white linens. I do all white towels, white bedspreads, and all that, so that everything can be bleached. And then I just throw on pops of color. I'm going to need you to come in here and babysit this, I guess, because I just do not know. Okay, so that is secret number one, is having a boutique versus just a traditional place that is not that exciting about staying. Now, what is secret number two? And I'm going to show you pictures. Secret number two is we turn all of our garages. Well, here's one of mine. Can they see it?
Can y'all see it?
Can you see that? Somebody tell me over here.
Yes,
oh, they
yes,
can.
yes.
Good. Will you just stay?
I'll stick around.
I'm so sorry.
No, go for it.
Okay. So do you see what I'm saying about just bright colors? That's what I go for. I mean, you might not want a blue door in your house that you live in, or that's funky backsplash and but if you're just staying somewhere short term, people want to do something fun. I want them to have an experience there. And so these are kind of the things that I do. When they're coming through the pictures, this is going to make them stop. Okay, number two is the bunk room. And having a bunk room is, I turn the garage into the bunk room. So most people do not need, it's not working. I do not know if I just, the bunk room, no, you don't need a garage in a short-term rental unless there's absolutely no parking on the street or whatever. Okay. What are you doing?
So I am clicking on the slide itself.
Okay.
Just try that and see if that works.
Okay.
Okay.
Good deal. Don't leave me yet. Don't stay close. So just in case. Okay. All right. So again, don't take a room and throw a bunch of bunk beds in there. That's not what I'm talking about. We do built-in bunk beds that look super cute. So you can charge more the more people that you can sleep in your short-term rental. So we have just all of our houses that have garages. If there's plenty of parking, we just turn the garage into a super cool bunk room, built in, complete. And I'm going to show you some pictures of that with, a PlayStation and all of that set up. Well, so say I have a 3-bedroom house And then I turn, and that's, so that sleeps 6 if I have queen size beds in all those rooms. And then in my, I put 4 sets or 2 sets, which would be 4 beds of queen size bunk beds, queen size built-in bunk beds, complete with the green tea mattress so that it's comfortable even for adults. And now I'm sleeping an extra 8 people. So now my property can sleep 16. And that you can really charge more per night when you can sleep 16 people in a property. And it's very comfortable. So it's so great for family reunions, large families. I have a whole lot of bachelorette and bachelor and bachelorette parties at my short-term rentals. We definitely always provide some outside seating and something fun, you know, so that there's a couple of them have swimming pools so that there is outside things to do, games, and it's just a huge draw. I have a lot of little teams. Maybe it's a baseball team or a cheerleader team. I have coworkers that are maybe coming in for an event and they all want to stay in the same house. So there's different bedrooms, you know, there's 3 bedrooms. Maybe for adults, you could throw all the kids in the bunk room. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to show you the numbers, but so much more fun than just staying at a hotel, right? So here is one of, this is what one of our houses look like. This is the bunk room. So you can see it's very just charming, looks like a fun place. And now, who wants to see the numbers? Let's look at the numbers. So I will charge, so I'm going to show you 2 of my short-term rentals. I'm going to give you the numbers. They rent for somewhere between $300 and $350 a night. And I keep them booked up at least 50% a month. 50% is what you want. So if you have to do your homework. If it's not going to be booked up 50% of the time, then it's probably not the best location for a short-term rental, which would be about 15 times a month. So if I'm, look at the numbers there. If I'm renting it out at $300 a night, I'm making $450. I'm bringing in, now I'm not making, because remember those costs, it cost me something. And so I'm going to show you that. And then if it's $350 a night and I book it up for 15 nights, it's $5,250 a month. That's minimum, but sometimes I'm renting it out for 17 or 21 days a month, or sometimes somebody will book it up for 2 months at a time. Okay. So I've had record months on both of these properties where one of them rented out for $7,700. The other one's $8,100 that particular month, of course, minus my expenses. Now, the other great thing about Evolve is that they will look to see if there's something going on in the city, and say the Cowboys are going to be playing this weekend. Well, they will raise the price. So maybe they'll raise it to $325 and $375 because they know somebody's willing to pay that, because and then they also look to see if they're all, all of the Airbnbs are going and there's not very many left, well, they can raise the price. And at the same time, if there's nothing going on and all of the Airbnbs are open, well, then they're going to lower the price, because it's better to make even $250 a night than having it sit there empty, right? So that's another great thing that Evolve does that I'm so thankful for. Okay. So on these 2 properties that I'm going to show you, if I was going to rent them out traditionally, it would be, one of them would rent for about $1,550 a month and the other one would be $1,750. Now, I will tell you, these slides were put together before this crazy bang. I could probably rent those properties out right now because rentals are so hard to come by, probably at $2,000 a month and like $2,200. But traditionally, prior to this crazy place we're in, that's what they would rent for. Now, I'm going to show you some before and afters. Are you ready? All right. So this is what it looked like when I bought it. Okay. I told you, kind of rough looking houses. This is what it looked like. I used my golden formula. I bought this property from someone that was going into foreclosure, and it was in pretty rough shape. And here is the after, and it did it again, Dylan. I just do not, I am so Sorry, this is making me so sick. Okay, well, there it went.
All right,
Okay.
so let's go back. After.
Okay, here's the after. So this is that was the before after. So you see, I just added some paint, added a little bit of cedar. You're gonna find I love cedar. It really brings a little charm to it. Okay, let's go again. Well, okay, this is the before of the kitchen, pretty rough shape. And here's the after. Woo! What do you think? Is that cute? Would you want to stay there for, 2 or 3 days if you were coming to Dallas? Wouldn't that be more fun than a hotel as well? Or would it, just staying in another house with, old brown couch? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, he's having the problem too. Okay.
Right here?
Yep. Right. Well, no, the next one.
Right there.
Okay, right here.
Aha.
This is the other end of that kitchen prior to. Go ahead. Before. Here's the after. I think there was one more. Go back. Okay, so yes, this is the other end of that. And so let me just tell you what we did. We obviously put in new floorings. We added the islands, and this is what we call a Home Depot quality. This is not a high quality. That is plank flooring. That tile again was probably $1.99 a tile. It's not anything expensive. We added some cedar on that vent hood. Okay, let me see. Okay, this is the living room. Now, again, you may not want blue crushed velvet sofas in your house, but it's pretty fun and exciting just for a few days, right? All right.
Try again. There we go. Is that your before?
Yeah, before. Okay, before bathroom, just dingy little thing. After, so added some tile. That subway tile is not expensive. Tile on the floor, the vanity and all of that, again, from Home Depot. If I'm doing a high-end property, then obviously I have to use higher end finish outs, but not on this property. Okay. This is the other bathroom. Okay, you can see there that mirror was like $99 from the home store. Everything else again from Home Depot. Okay, backyard. Okay, let's go. You've got to have a grill, especially if you're here in Texas, and some back door furniture. Okay. So again, white linens. All we did was we put in some new carpet. We painted the walls and all white linen and threw in some blue for a pop of color. Nothing expensive. Put the gold for a pop of color. It got those, I believe those lamps came from a consignment store. This is the master. Art comes from the home store 90% of the time. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. There we go.
Okay, you have one, go back one. Okay, and then here is the bunk room that was a garage. And you can see it's simple. We have a contractor that builds these. He's built lots of these bunk beds for us. Okay, let's go on. So that is what makes this a boutique-ish. Okay, now I'm going to show you one more. We'll go through these really quickly. This is the before on another property. This is the after. Again, paint, cleaned up the yard, added a little bit of cedar, a brand new door. This is the before after, real dark and dreary. And before, and the after.
There we go.
Woo! Cute, right? Nothing fancy, nothing expensive about this at all. Just super cute. Okay, go ahead. Before and after.
It's thinking about it right there. There we go. So that's before.
Yeah, that's the before.
Come on. After.
After, yeah. Okay, let's go to another one. Before. After. Okay. Before. After. Okay. And there's that garage. And here is the after. There you go. What do you think? Are you excited about that? Does that make you, do you see how fun it is? Super cute. Okay, I'm just kind of reading your comments here. So yes, They do think it's cute. Thanks for hanging in with me. I think, let's see, I live next to Madonna Inn where all the rooms have crazy themes. It's a very niche. Yeah, that's the thing. That's super cool. Let's go over here and see if there's any comments. Okay. Now, are you hitting? Go ahead and let's go to the next slide. Okay, outside. This is what that pool looked like. And now after, woo, just cleaned it up. You have to have a fence around a short-term rental for, protection of little kiddos. Okay, go ahead. Oh, looks pretty rough. Before, after, we cleaned it up. And I want you to notice that window over there opens up and it's a serving window. And on the other side is the kitchen. And so now we have some bar stools there. So it's, of course, we've got a grill out there. So it's just a really fun place. Even during COVID, now here in Texas, you could still travel to Airbnb. Some states closed down their short-term rentals, but we did not. And here in Texas. So this place stayed booked out all the way through COVID because families that didn't have a pool were coming here as like a little vacation spot. They were bringing and staying, a week or two at a time so that they could provide, a place to get out and at least let their kids swim during COVID. So it was fantastic. Okay, how is that for a little now and later money? Who wants a little bit of that? Do you see the kind of money that you can make? So I showed you that you can make $3,000 to $5,000 on these. Now these are simple 3-bedroom homes that we turned the garage. So I bought these properties under a duress situation and using a formula that I use and paid for one of them approximately $180,000 and put about $40,000 into it. The other one I bought for right at $200,000 and put about $60,000 into it. And so then, and used private money loans for that. And then I've got them refinanced. And so by the time I make my mortgage payment and I pay for the utilities and my property manager and all of the things that come out of that, I am putting somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a month in my pocket. That's cash flow. $1,000 to $2,000 a month per. And when you have, 5, 6, 10 of these, that makes some really great money that you're making, as well as this brings in 5 streams of wealth generation. So we didn't talk about that, but every single month that I'm making my house payment on these properties, I'm paying the mortgage, it's going down, right? So I'm paying it off. And then it's also appreciating. So that is a form of wealth generation. Let's see what my next slide is. Okay. And so I'm paying it off, paying it down every single month. There's tons of tax benefits. So I'm getting tons of tax breaks because all investment properties has tons of tax benefits. So you want a really good tax advisor that knows all about the real estate benefits, because that's huge. Appreciation is happening and somebody else is paying for all of that. And so in 10, 15 years, 20 years, when all of these houses are paid off and appreciation and the tax benefits, I mean, that is long-term wealth. I can either sell them off, I can pass them down to my 7 grandkids as, leaving a legacy for my family. So it's just amazing. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm teaching my students to do all over the nation. And it is super excited. Now listen, all of you gentlemen, thank y'all for hanging in here with me. And paying attention to these pink slides. However, if you are a woman on here and you are interested in learning more about this, I am about to have REIN Live, that is the Women's Real Estate Investors Network live event right here in Dallas, Texas, where thousands of women are coming together from all over the nation. I have students in all 50 states. And we're all going to come together, and I'm going to be teaching all of these strategies, how you buy these properties, how you get these houses funded. We'll be talking about short-term rentals, regular rentals, wholesaling properties, flipping properties. Listen, I have some of the greatest lineup of powerhouse speakers. Oh, are you ready for this? Barbara Cochran from Shark Tank is going to be here. She is an absolute hoot. She's so excited about this. She is a huge fan of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network. Elena Cardone. I don't know if you know who she is, but she is with 10X. Her husband is Grant Cardone, who is like the guru of real estate investing. She is dynamic. Her and I spoke together at an event just a few months ago. She is excited about coming and sharing her specialized knowledge. Jamie Kern Lima was the founder of It Cosmetics. And no, Robin, I'm sorry. Guys are not allowed. So sorry. Anyway, listen, she's got an amazing story of how she started this in her in the living room of her little apartment, almost went bankrupt so many times, but stayed with it. Y'all, she ended up selling It Cosmetics to L'Oreal. Are you ready for this? For $1.2 billion. Is that not insane? And she is just the most kind, amazing woman. I had dinner with her just a few months ago, got to hear her entire story. And so I am so excited. I said, would you come share with my ladies at REIN Live? And she said, absolutely. So she's going to be here. I'm not going to go through. Patrice Washington is amazing financial expert. I mean, she is so amazing. You're going to love her. Go back. Brooke Thomas, who is a good friend of mine. She's just a multi-millionaire. She has very high-end masterminds. She is all about celebrating women and teaching women a business strategy. And she is absolutely amazing. Lisa Bevere, which my slide passed her up. We're not going to go back. But anyway, Lisa Bevere, if you know who she is a preaching machine. And so on Sunday morning of this event, we're actually having church. And Lisa Bevere is going to be sharing, and she is all about just empowering women. So again, if you would love to be at REIN Live, I just wanted to give you that opportunity. Now my VIP access is already completely sold out, but you can, and if you're interested in that, you can attend virtually for as little as $97. But I'm telling you, you really want to be here if you can, so that you can connect with other women, ambitious women from all over the nation. So many of these women are and they've never done it, you know, there's just beginning. Now, hundreds of these women will be my students that are already doing this and killing it, but probably the majority have never done a deal, but they're coming to learn. So we're going to have everything. If you're ready to scale your business, or if you're just a beginner, then come get your tickets. It's going to be so much fun. If you're looking for motivation, inspiration, education, and connection with other women, then you want to be here. Well, Jake, thank you very much. He says this webinar is being recorded and will be available on the YouTube channel later today. So thank you so much. And again, now, if you can't attend, I do teach virtually, and all you would, if you go to withoutfearofherfuture.com, withoutfearofherfuture.com, you can find out when my next online training is right there, withoutfearofherfuture.com/special event. I would love to have you. It's a 7-day masterclass where I teach this, as well as a ton of other strategies and all of that. So thank you so much for having me. I apologize for my slides acting up. Thank you, Dylan, for coming to the rescue. I hope that this was educational for you. I bless all of you. And I like to say, dream big. The sky is the limit. Be brave. Get out there and find out more about investing. It can absolutely change your life. It has helped me to find financial freedom, and it will help you do the same. So I bless you. Thank you so much.